Thank you. You will now be placed into conference. To mute your line, press *6. To unmute, press #6.
Release of a next generation MC17, which is also known as the MC17T. The T is significant for touch, and we're here today to talk about this new version of the MC17 and how we got to be able to launch this product from about a year or so ago. So we'll cover as much as we can about the MC17 product family with this, and we'll be highlighting the touch version in the presentation. The MC17T session here is a review of the product. We've got lots of information that's available online currently, but more importantly, let's try to make this a two-way conversation. So if there's any questions that you need to ask, you've got that feature through the live meeting menu screen here. And it would be great if you could post your question, and when I come on the slide that you have a question on, please, by all means, write that question in, and Diane will interrupt to answer the questions. We'll also have the opportunity to talk about some questions that might not have been answered at the end of this presentation as well. But before we begin to discuss the MC17T, it's kind of important to take a quick look at how we got to where we are today. And basically, I had mentioned that the MC17T is a product that is a newer product for a family of products. The first being the non-touch version of the MC17T, which is also known as the MC17. And it was about a little bit more than a year or so ago that we launched the MC17. And the purpose for that product was really to pick up of where we were. When I say we, Motorola was with a product that was called PSS. And for those of you who are familiar with PSS, this was a product, or for those who aren't familiar, this is really a product that did the job for helping consumers who would walk into stores to get in and out of the store fairly quickly. In the year's time that we've launched the MC17, we've sold about 30,000 units worldwide, and we've got some pretty important partners, and that list appears to be growing more and more. And with the recent announcement of the touch version of the MC17, we're getting lots of interest from partners such as yourselves about what this product can do and where it fits into the whole scheme of the MC17 product family. Successes that we've seen at customers, they include here in the States, Stop and Shop, Giant Food. Over in Europe, we've got lots of legacy PSS installations that are migrating to the new MC17 product. So a bulk of what we've sold in the last year did come from Europe. But I do want to note that friends over at Stop and Shop via Motive Media have deployed upwards of about 6,000 units here in the States over the course of the last year. So we're pretty encouraged that the momentum that seemed to only be concentrated over in the Europe space has moved across, and we're beginning to see more and more retailers begin to deploy this customer-facing solution to the consumers who walk into their stores. What you see here are a few images of some actual deployments of the current MC17 product, anywhere from grocery stores to big box stores, Costco, Price Club, those types of format stores as well. Here in the States, I mentioned Stop and Shop. We've got a few other large retailers who are in pilot stages right now that I'm not at liberty to discuss, but for the most part, those applications are in the gift registry application. We've got a small pilot going on at a store here in the New York area. That's for gift registry as well as for finding out more information about products that are being used at the store or in the store that need to be learned about in terms of their features that's not readily available at the shelf tag. The PSS product in the past and with the current MC17 product is one that allows a consumer to scan their loyalty or shopper rewards card when they walk into the store. The software or the system is designed so that when a validated card is read, a device with a charged battery will be identified with the cradle lighting up, which is then taken by the consumer to begin their shop in the store. During their shop, these items are put in their baskets or in their carts, in bags that they want them to go into. And the whole time during this process, you've got the retailer sending up promotional information and discounts and targeted content that shopper might find valuable as they shop, so that when they're done with their shop, it's pretty much just pay and go. There's no long lines to wait into, and the whole entire experience is, in a lot of ways faster, as well as the ability for the consumers to save money while they're shopping. So this is a process that's done very well over I would say close to 10 years, but it's really beginning to pick up steam here in the States as well as overseas with many retailers, because it seems like the last couple of years we've seen adoption of technology in stores on the rise by consumers, and this whole concept of empowering the consumer while they shop is one step above what we know today as a lot of self-checkout stations. So this is it's the next level. Think of it as the next level for consumers to take technology, to use technology in store that empowers them to be more in control and get the information that they want, where they want, when they're in the store. Typically, a PSS installation includes the development of a back-end server software, and that's done by partners such as yourselves. For the most part, those applications are obviously deployed onto products, which many times are stocked at distribution, and then system integrators are generally called in to tie in the server-side application to a lot of the store software systems that will need to communicate with the PSS product or the MC17 product. So this is more informational here. What we're seeing also is that there are lots of opportunities for the MC17 in retail. That's not necessarily for consumers to use to do their grocery shopping, let's say. On the top left image there, the MC17 today is tied into customers who are ordering online, and items need to be picked in the store, in the back end of the store, to be delivered to those consumers. What you see here to the right is a kiosk of MC17s that are actually in a few stores at Circuit City. These are, think of kiosks that move with the customer when they're in the store, so that they could scan product to get information, read reviews, see if it's in stock, and if there's information about the product when they're comparing one against the other. This particular application for Circuit City actually works very well in that instance when there's not, let's say, a sales associate close by. What we've learned also in this experience with Circuit City is that the MC17 is also used by many of the store associates themselves to learn about the products that they need to talk to customers about. So it's not only a device that is used by consumers, but it's also a nice tool for store staff and associates to use when they're on the job in the aisles having to talk to customers, which is the image that you see there on the bottom left as well.
How much is that?
So what we learned with the MC17 when we announced it last year was that for many, it's a great product for self-scanning with consumers, but it could be even a better product if it was a little bit more flexible to allow other applications to be developed for it. What we also heard from customers was that it would be good if, in fact, there are certain environments where the device has to be offline, that there was the ability to store large amounts of data onto the device. We also heard retailers as well as other customers say that they're a little concerned about ABG wireless LAN security, and it would be great if we can get ABG into the product. And another comment that came in, or a few comments that came in regarding the MC17's snappiness or performance. It would be good if perhaps we could, torque up the power or performance of the product to be a little bit more faster. We also heard them say, let's do this, making sure that we got a pretty good price and, keep it simple, basically, is what they also wanted to make sure it carried forward with the product. So a little bit less than a year or so ago, we embarked on a newer development, or let's say a development that would take the current MC17 and would add some newer technology to it. Those main four pieces of newer technology are listed here on this slide. A touch display, 802.11 ABG wireless LAN radio. We've also embedded into the product a 1 gig SD memory module to allow for quick information that's stored on the device, as well as a faster processor, again, to accomplish that that sluggishness that in some applications on the MC17 was something that customers had mentioned to us. Some of the things that we did on the software side, which is fairly important to you all folks who are building applications for the product, is that it's based on Microsoft Standard CE Professional with full support for Internet Explorer. In the device, you've got Pocket Browser, so there's no longer a need for a separate license for Pocket Browser. It comes on the OS image of the product, as does MSP Provision. So there's no requirement for having to purchase a separate license for MSP Provision. It is, again, like Pocket Browser, part of the OS build that's on the product out of box from the factory. We've included back into the product the Fusion UI, which is something that a lot of our partners said that they would love to see in this product. Unfortunately, it was a little bit more difficult with the non-touch version, but now that we've got touch, getting access to the Fusion application is now possible, and we threw that back in, as did the App Center software, which is a nice little program that locks out users to get access to applications that they shouldn't be accessing. We've also got a scan demo in the product, as well as what's optional, not in the product, but what's optional is a framework of software and code that we make available to partners who are looking at an application that needs to tie in pretty closely to a retail point-of-sale system. So we've got that framework software that's available, and if you've got any questions about that framework software, we can take those questions in the presentation, or you could easily email me with whatever your question is. What's not changing about the product, first and foremost, is the fact that all of the design of the product is not changing at all, for the most part. So everything that we have out today in the marketplace for the MC17 will work for the MC17T in terms of accessories. And the one unique feature that we have with this product that seems to be something that many customers want is the ability to logo the bezel. The bezel is different, or the cover is different, but we still have the ability to, out of box, customize that logo to whatever your end customer would want it to look like or say. So we've got that ability today, out of box from the factory, through a process that we manage here internally. And if you don't want to have that customized logo, the product comes with its standard gray color logo, or I'm sorry, bezel. out of box, so it's the same color as the non-touch version. Our target users for the MC17T are, again, retail customers or consumers who would use the device for do their shopping or gift registry types of things. It's a great tool for them to use when wanting to do comparative shopping for product information. And again, for a couple of customers too, it's also a great tool for those customers to use to scan what they want and have those items brought to them when they're checking out. For retailers, it's great for employees to use when doing shelf pricing or inventory when they're on the floor. It's also a great learning tool for them when there's many products that need to be sold at a store, and you've got new hires that have to get up and running pretty quickly with all the products that are available for sale. Also, a pretty cost-effective tool for doing queue busting types of applications to help shorten lines during busy times. And because of its user interface, it's also a pretty neat device in terms of being able to talk with customers about something that they might need an answer to. And it's a device that's complicated. It's simple and it's easy to understand, and it's not something that is cumbersome or complex with many keys or display that's not legible. And the third target user here I've got listed, although there's not many bullets for this one, it seems to be a category of customers that are taking a pretty close look at the touch version of the MC17 because of its price and its functionality. There is a pretty big market for applications that need to do barcodes and either store that information locally to the device or hit a server with that information for retrieval at some other later point in time. So for those applications where the environment is not one where it's either very cold or very hot or very wet, the MC17T is a pretty decent solution for those types of applications. It's got a pretty good price point. It's got lots of flexibility in terms of what it can do, although because now it's got a touchscreen display, and it is a durable device too. It does. We passed spec, or it is spec to be able to drop multiple times on all surfaces across the room temperature range. So at freezing, it's a between 32 and 120 degrees Fahrenheit is the operating temperature range where we've dropped the product. And again, it's multiple drops. It's 4 drops to tile over concrete on each side. So you can do the math there. It's a pretty durable product. And again, it's a product that's piquing lots of interest with those applications that are more general purpose, more at the low end, and we're seeing some traction with simple ticket scanning, such as at trade shows and stadiums and that kind of thing. For consumers, the value proposition is that it helps them get in and out of the store quickly. And it helps them save money too. And that second benefit is something that's determined by the retailer. What kind of content do they want to push up to that customer when they're in certain areas of the store, or after scanning certain items while they're shopping. For retailers, it empowers their customers one level higher than self-checkout does today. The MC17 in an environment where it's used, or the T where it's used for self-scanning or portable shopping, works very nicely with self-checkout. When you're actually in and out of the store without even having to work with regular store staff. Actually, you can get in and out and get everything done without even having to talk to anybody. And it's also a tool that helps their employees, do better things at their jobs. It's great for them to have in their back pocket when they need to look up pricing or inventory, for example. So it helps them do their jobs better at a price point that's pretty cost effective. And for general enterprise mobility customers, you've got its durability. We talked about this on the last slide. It's versatile, and again, it's at a pretty decent price point for general purpose wireless data collection. So where are we going to position this product? Well, it's going to be positioned to the right and a little bit higher in features and price than the current non-touch version. The non-touch MC17 list price is $995. The touch version will list at $200 more than the non-touch. There's no plans for discontinuing the non-touch version. So we will move forward with both non-touch as well as touch. It's probably going to be the case that we'll see the non-touch have a bigger play in those applications that are more consumer-oriented, because given a device to consumers where you've got the touch display enabled, could be a little bit more cumbersome for customers to pick up and learn fairly quickly, whereas a non-touch is a great application or a great tool for that type of application. The configurations for the MC17 product family are listed here. You've got two standard configurations that are denoted by the -00 and the part numbers. And you've got the features there that are listed. This is category 1A for your discount. We've also got a developer kit for the touch version. Unfortunately, it's not listed in this matrix, but that part number is MC17T-DevKit, DEVKIT, and that should be up in Solution Builder today, as well as being orderable. So again, it's MC17T-DevKit, and that qualifies for the steeper discount off of the 1A standard discount. Online, you've got plenty of collateral that has been updated to include the touch version of the MC17 features, as well as nice documents, photography. There's a really good motion pic too that's available online. So we're ready and rolling in terms of being able to support our channel partners with information on this product, and to help you with whatever needs you may have in wanting to promote this product to your customers. So if there's any question about what's available, if you're having trouble finding anything, by all means, please let myself or Diane know. Also, as part of our go-to-market for the launch of the MC17T, we've got some documents here that would help you out, again, in terms of what information you as a partner need to know about this product family, not only the touch, but the non-touch as well. The applications that we're seeing this product be deployed at, and you can see what we've got. We're pretty much all ready to go. So we're locked and loaded on the product. We announced it about 2 weeks ago. We announced it, and we started being able to take orders on the product only last week. I expect that if there's a new order that comes in, let's say today for this product, it could be expected that within 2 weeks' time we'll be able to complete the shipment of that order. Our pricing for service, or our service options, I should say, are pretty much standard in terms of what we offer for most of our other mobile computing products. 3- and 5-year service options are available, service from the stock, bronze and gold. And again, these are service options that are available in Solution Builder for the most current pricing information. So there's nothing new or different about the fact that we've got service options available. And what we also include in this, which wasn't necessarily the case for many other products, was the fact that our service from the start includes coverage for the battery as well. So with the pricing of that particular option, you do get battery maintenance part of the service from the start. And here's a quick slide on the links that are available for you to get up and running with beginning the development of your application. So all of the tools that are used for standard development are posted on our Support Central site. And the way that you would, I guess, start to get there would either go to Support Central, or you can start at Motorola .com/MC17. So the SDKs are up. I think we're now calling them our EMDKs. And you can do a search for MC17, and you'll get all the information about what tools are available online for you to be able to use to get up and running with application development. All right, I know that was kind of quick, so I'm hoping that we've got some questions here because we've got some more time. So if Diane, you would be kind enough to maybe open up the lines for questions, that would be great.
Sure. We actually have some questions in the question manager online. Self-shopping, how is that controlled at the checkout, and what kind of control is there on items that are scanned versus total items bagged or are in the cart?
So how is it controlled at checkout? What generally happens is the retailer works with the developing partner to set the parameters for how often and how many of the items they would like to audit in a shopper's basket. Now, they may elect to do that for every other shopper, every fifth shopper, or maybe the parameter has been set to target a specific shopper. So there's flexibility as to what it is a retailer wants to be the frequency with which they'll audit or partial audit customers. And again, that's a nice feature that we have available in the framework software that I talked about earlier. So that framework software includes a module for determining exactly when or how often an audit will occur with the shoppers who are registered to use the system.
Next question, Chris, is what is the temperature range for the non-touch version?
It's the same as the touch. So the temperature range is between 32 degrees Fahrenheit and 120 degrees Fahrenheit.
Next question is when is the MC17 available in quantity?
MC17 in quantity, that's the non-touch version. We are expecting to get relief in the availability of product over the course of the next 2 to 3 weeks. Obviously, with the launch of the touch version and the product being, pretty much in the same facility of the factory that's producing both products, we had to forecast our touch version a little bit ahead of some of the non-touch. So unfortunately, fortunately I should say, we've seen some pretty decent demand on the non-touch version. So it put us in a little bit of a back order situation. So I would say within 2 to 3 weeks' time, we should be out of the inventory backlog that we have for the non-touch version. For touch, I expect that we are going to be able to ship. Well, we can take orders now, and we should be able to ship within the next week or two.
Okay. Next question. Is it up to the end user to control possible theft of the device? Is there anything that can be employed on the device to prevent that?
It's a good question because we did hear, or it is a concern for retailers, that sometimes devices will walk from the store. And in the handle of the device, we've got a cavity that would allow for a sensormatic type of tag that you would obviously, if you were to, you see these today on lots of the small items. So you've got the ability for a tag such as that to go into the handle of the device. And I don't have the actual part number here in front of me, but there is an area in the handle of the device for those tags to actually be put into the device. It's not something that we offer from, our inventory. What we can do, though, is we can set you up with what the part number is and and how to get the actual tag to put into the device.
Next question. The webinar presentations, just so everybody knows, will be posted on Partner Hallway, and they will be posted by the end of the week along with the recorded session. Are there any other questions on the line? Okay, so that concludes our MC17 webinar. Chris, there is one other additional question.
Sure, I'm here.
It says, if this is an MPOS system, can it support mobile printing?
Yes, it does, actually. It's wireless LAN printing. So we've got in our EMDK the APIs to support various printers with this product.
Hi, good morning, sir. I had a quick question regarding the device.
Sure.
Exactly where does the SD card go?
The SD card is actually on board or is embedded in the product. It's not something that you have access to.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's it, Chris.
Okay, then. Appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.